The Table is Yours podcast contains content that may not be suitable for some audiences, such as themes of violence, swearing, sexual language, alcohol, and death. We advise you to check the episode description for any other specific content warnings. Please, if any sequences or episodes are ever triggering or uncomfortable in any way, we ask you to take a pause from the episode or skip it entirely. It is important that our table is a safe space for everyone, including you.
The Table is Yours podcast is a role-playing adventure show where a bunch of friends around a table and through video call play tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons. Together, we hope to bring the joy and fun of our game to you, wherever you are, as if you're part of our table. For when you're sitting, creating, and playing with us, the table is yours.
Hello, and welcome to The Table is Yours, a role-playing adventure show where a bunch of friends sit around a table and play Dungeons and Dragons and maybe other TTRPGs one day. Hi, my name's Con Riley. I am your GM, your DM, your best friend. God, I guess I'm just handing that out. But my pronouns are they, them. You can follow me anywhere at Kryles. And today, for fun facts, we're doing a fun little thing because we know we have some people who really like reality TV shows in our campaign here, and we have someone who had a brain who thought of this idea, Jake, which is, which reality TV show would your character win or like excel a lot at? Like, if it's not like Survivor or Bachelor, like Shark Tank, obviously you can't win Shark Tank, but you can like get a really high bid or like really high investment or whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. I could go first, but I feel like you guys should all go first, and then after, first NPC that comes to your mind, and whoever has the most votes for that NPC, I'll do that NPC.
Go.
We'll come back to my fun fact, but we're going to start with our furry friends, starting with fiction.
Hello, my name is Vic. I play resident rat boy Terrence Astonis. My pronouns are they, them. Terrence's pronouns are he, they. Also, we leveled up. Con forgot to mention. So I had an answer that Andrew gave me a really, really good answer just now. I was originally going to say Terrence would do really well in Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I was going to say that too. Yes. But Andrew said, Destroy, Build, Destroy, starring Andrew WK, which is so fucking true. You would do really well there, I think.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I play Wash, pronouns he, him, both of us. You can find me. I finished digging the hole. Now I'm filling it back in because I don't know what to do with my life. Right, so reality TV show for Wash, I guess Ninja Warrior.
Hey everybody, I'm Heather Lore. I play Shay Erebos, the rogue plus other cool stuff of the group. You can find me on Instagram at Land of Lore, and I am I'm not like super familiar with a wide variety of reality shows, which is weird because I work in that field. But I'm gonna say Shay would start on a dating show, and then she would host her own dating show after not winning, but being the fan favorite of that dating show.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I play Codex Saori, now even more of a wild magic sorcerer, rune knight fighter. She, her. Reality TV show that I think Codex would actually win. I don't know enough about it to say whether it makes sense, but I think it would be funny for her to be on Too Hot to Handle.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I play Isabella Balador, Tiefling Paladin Bard of the group. Issa would win Big Brother.
She would win. She would go to be on House of Villains. Hi, I'm Jake. I play Finley Day, Galilei, Fearful Druid, he, him, for him, as well as for me still to this day. If Finley were to be on a reality TV show, it would not have to be anything that requires intelligence. He would lose to a fifth grader. I'm so sorry, my sweet boy. Probably either be on Naked and Afraid and produce one of the most entertaining episodes ever to exist. Either that or he would win The Amazing Race.
Who would your partner be, Cinnamon?
Yes.
All right, and I'm just going to go down the line. You tell me the NPC, and don't change it. Does everyone have an NPC locked? Vic.
Doug.
Andrew.
Gabby.
Heather.
Ingil.
Sid.
Celeste.
Becca. Jake. Odds and evens for Jaless and Gabby.
Evens.
Who's odds
Gabby
evens?
over...
Evens for Gabby, odds for Jaless. 16, Gabby.
Yes.
What would he win?
Gabby?
90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, no. Gabby would...
Wife swap.
Yes, he would win wife swap. Gabby would win wife swap. Yeah, but with that, of course you can follow anyone. You can follow anyone. Follow us in. I don't care. Do it.
Don't find her.
You can follow us anywhere at TTIY, D&D on all socials. That is on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky hopefully soon, probably by this point, YouTube, TikTok, Patreon. Support our Patreon. It helps us make cool content for you, and you will get cool content there. So there you go. But yeah. Other than that, let us then get into the recap of what happened last episode on The Table is Yours.
What story shall be sung today? One can never know how the melody might sound. Our adventurers have already begun to pluck the strings of their story, and their combined composition is unfolding like a road before us.
Since we were still resting in Merkside past the Blacklights, Issa decided to contact Casimir to see how the Demarters were doing on their mission at the Russet Waste. Casimir told Issa to stop using a sending stone before astrally summoning her to a demi-plane where the two could speak privately. Casimir explained that he and his siblings discovered something. Much like the Russet Waste had abilities to negate magic, like Russian Willow against the diamond that held the scarred warlord, the Onyx Obscurity and Orathia had the ability to do the opposite, amplify magic, as in allow for sending stones in Zabaria to be used multiple times a day rather than just once, and if Orathia was able to do that, she was most definitely listening into everybody's conversations. Finley went on a walk around the perimeter of our setup and chatted with Cinnamon via Speak with Animals. They spoke about how he was unable to resurrect his family on the year off we had and wondered why. Cinnamon remembered that the Ignis Cal druids usually had the main druid representing the power of fire accompanied by 4 others representing shadow, light, divinity, and chance, which Finley replaced with runes. Maybe the resurrection rite needed people to help. This made Finley remember that his mother actually had 4 people that she trusted to help fill the roles for her and the rite. He realized that the woman who represented the role of shadow might be Shay's late mom. After that, our 2 most quiet characters finally let loose and told all, as Shay and Wash bonded over their traumatic childhoods. The next morning, Shay and I informed the group about our conversation with Ezra, as Issa told us all about Casimir's warning about the sending stones. There wasn't really much we could do about either, so we just continued forward in Merkside towards the center to find the doghouse. As we got to the center of Merkside, we used Wash's magical hole that he got from Gug to get into the connecting sewer tunnel where all the reverse rivers led to, seemingly directly into the roots of the Dawnwood above. We followed the sewers until we came upon an area where the blood dogs were being held, and there was a big iron door where some discussion was being had. As we planned to go in, guns a-blazing, we were intercepted by someone Wash recognized, a seedy-looking half-elf named Rickard, who, in all honesty, kinda seemed to be ripping off my look, I'm just saying. He was the leader of the Falso Ivories and responsible for kidnapping Wash's parents when Seraphima instructed him to. Wash was furious and went to hit Rickard, but it seemed that he was being protected by a golden, shimmering magic shield, no doubt from the family of blood. He laughed off Wash's attempt and led us through the door where Verona was experimenting with a version of my serum with some blood dogs. One in particular seemed quite agitated, a huge golden-furred dog Verona and Rickard referred to as Garrett, Wash's father. Verona explained that he was gonna kill us all, blaming us for Balthazar killing him originally, as he offered to Rickard the choice of who would turn, or something. Rickard offered it up, snidely laughing that he was on borrowed time anyway before Verano injected him with a serum that turned Rickard into a huge blue blood dog. Verano then drank a version of my serum that he said he perfected and grew to 10 feet tall without losing any of his intelligence, unlike the side effects of my serums. And so we began to fight. It was tough, and Verano Unleashed, as we'll call him, was crazy strong, especially with all the blood dogs. But we killed that bastard and dog turned Rickard for good this time. We left Garrett alone, who seemed to distantly recognize Wash in his state. Wash tried to reconcile with him, but he knew he was a lost cause, and using his Aasimar blood, burned up his dad so he could finally be at peace. Shay saw an image of Wash's mom, Rebecca Wersch, and through her was able to give some parting words to her son. It was tough seeing Wash go through that, but eventually Dogma and Co. found us through their own infiltration of the doghouse and teleported us back to the keep.
It's late. It's like probably 10 p.m. the next, obviously the next day from when you guys slept. This morning, from when you guys slept. Yeah. So yeah.
She'll just quietly close Wash's door and head back down to everyone.
Finley's probably gonna walk up to Shay and just kind of rub her shoulder to get her attention. No, it's probably not a fantastic time to talk about this, but you don't know what tomorrow's going to have in store, so moment of peace means moment to talk. Do you know if your sister knows if your mom was good friends with a woman in the wilds?
If she was a leader of a tribe, most likely. She was friends with essentially all the leaders of all the tribes in every district.
Alright. Well then, I think your mom was friends with my mom a long time ago. And they would have to be really close, because she helped my mom perform druid rituals which require close people. So I might need your help to do the same thing.
Shay's kind of blinking and just trying to process what everything that was just said. Alright, I would like more details, but Finley, you will always have my help.
I can definitely provide that. I know it's kind of wild, hot, no pun intended. And he'll kind of he'll fully explain the rituals that his mom would do and how it required 5 people, 4 of which have to be really closely related to the caster of the ritual. He'll explain the whole thing and the different intricacies of it, and then kind of just keep reiterating
They had to have been very close in order to do this, because it requires a very deep connection, otherwise you'll all die. Or it just fails.
Did Finley explain what the ritual is for?
In a broad sense, it's just like anytime like a big druidic ritual would happen. So like
it's a rite of flame from the Ignis Cal druids.
So like what Finley did for Connie is a smaller version of that, which he carved runes into the ground to fill in the space. But obviously, it's one person's power versus 5, and each of those 5 have to have a different connection to something. So his mom would have been fire, Shay's mom would have been shadows, and then there would have been someone connected to chance, someone connected to divinity, and then someone connected to...
So it's 5 things. Flame, light, shadow.
Yes, light, shadow.
Chance, and divinity.
Chance and divinity.
And Finley says all that?
Yes. And I failed to bring my family back. I think in part there was interference to begin with. I think it was the sun. But also I just didn't have enough. So I need those things.
Shay puts her hand on Finley's elbow gently, and she's like, Finley, I think you have all of those things.
But it has to be more than one way.
More than one way.
It has to be a two-way street. As much as I can feel about the Fated Fates, they have to feel the same about me.
So, you think the thing that is blocking your family from... Oh, no, I see. Oh, I see.
I'm so sorry. Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. I just wanted to know if I knew your mom. Because I might have been a little boy, but I guess now I know your mom.
Do you remember anything else about her?
He'll probably go into a long spiel of all the things that he remembers about her.
Terrence is... He's gonna go to his room. Actually, he's not gonna join for dinner. Ezra is gone, right? Ezra went on that trip.
Ezra and Maud are gone. Sham is here.
Terrence has that earring of either message or sending, whichever one is the better one, because it just does it once a day. And he wants to send a message to Ezra. So he says, "Hi, hope you're okay." Hi, hope you're okay. We did find out that Onyx Obscurity is tapping sending stones. Don't want them to find you or your family. Be safe.
And that's not through a sending stone.
It's through his earring that he has, that casts it once a day. It just has a charge of, sending or message or whatever.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. That's concerning. Maud and I are in the 9th. Should be back by tomorrow evening.
Terrence, kind of sighs. Terrence kind of sighs with relief to hear that he's okay, because, we had discussed a lot on the sending stone the night before, and he was very worried. And then he was, just going to, lay down.
With that, I'm going to transition into the dinner table with Finley, Codex, Shay, probably just Braz. I think the others have eaten since 10 p.m. At that time, as you guys are eating, Braz makes you really nice, I'd say it's a vegetable stew.
Oh, thank
it's
God.
nice. Or maybe not stew, probably a vegetable.
Stir fry.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Stir fry. As you hear the sound of a teleportation circle being cast that enters into the courtyard.
Finley's going to very politely excuse himself from the table and then just go out the door.
As you guys wander into the forge to the basement, you guys will see, coming out of a teleportation circle, the DeMarta siblings.
Finley's not even at near the bottom of the stairs, and he just leaps down into the basement. He's like, yes!
Slow your rolls, please, says Balthazar.
As he does a really slow somersault.
Fiora kind of rolls her eyes, pushes Balthazar, not pushes, shoves him a little bit to the side and walks in front of Casimir and just comes up and gives you the biggest hug, Finley.
He's gonna not even be surprised. He's gonna be woo, and he's gonna lift her up and give a little swing.
No, don't lift me up there, please.
Kind of put her back on the ground, but still do a side to side.
It's good to see you too.
I do have some things to talk to you guys about. I couldn't tell you because of the whole, I'm listening to y'all.
Oh, good. So Issa told everybody?
Yes.
Yes. Finley is gonna huddle the DeMartas alone in not a small room, but maybe he'll bring them into his room and then just be gesture for them to sit on the the bigger than normal bed that he has.
Fiara, who's still kind of like just tired of everything, is like, ugh! She like lays on the bed.
He'll basically just go over I relay them the first vision where we learn about the mother figure, how they were just a normal family, and then I go into the second vision where we see time start to pass, and then the dog goes away, and then the mother goes away, and then Berengar Bart finding them, and then get into the general reactions that everyone had to it, and then how he felt about that, and then he's going to talk about the speech that he gave to everybody, and then how all of that kind of went through, and then how he feels about Orathia's team, and all of that, and everything that happened in Merkside.
Got it.
And what he talked about with Cinnamon, so what happened in Merkside. With the vision just kind of go along the lines of like, it's weird because it's circumstance. It's just watching the people that you're fighting right now, and seeing that it just didn't make sense, because it's like, these aren't the people that we're fighting. These are the people that they should have been the whole time, that they deserved to be. And I thought, well, this is a conquest of diamonds and wishes and all these different things, and there's a part of me that feels like I want to save the people they deserve to be.
I think all three Demarters are kind of like, oh my god, like like from all that information. Like I think all of them are kind of a little dumbfounded. I'm sorry, you feel bad for these people? Says Balthazar.
These people, as he like gestures and references the siblings and Salmex, these people need to be stopped. The system they have, everything they're doing, needs to be destroyed, rebuilt, restructured. I have nothing against the people that lost everything. I think those people deserve better.
What are you saying? Says Fiora.
I don't know, maybe there's a way that I could do something, that I can help those people, give them the life they deserve to have. Not demons.
What about all the fucking lives that they took? Says Balthazar. Casimir's gonna turn to Balthazar and be like, hey, Finley, Balthazar kind of like, okay, sorry, continue.
I think the main part of me recognizes myself. Who I could have been, who I could have met, where I could have ended up, but I didn't. I didn't meet a Berengar Bart. I met, and he gestures towards Fiara, I met a good person. I was molded and helped to be a good person, to be someone who's helpful. These people, again referencing the sisters and Salmex, those people are who they are regardless. There's no saving them, but even then that's not my call to make. But those people, those kids that lost everything, I can't help but feel bad for them.
Balthazar probably does that really dramatically. He like looks at, like, kind of like shakes his head and looks at the wall for a second. I would think because of like when you hung out with Balthazar during the time skip, it's not directed towards you. He's just angry.
Yeah, listen, I know that the direct cause of what happened to them led directly to what happened to you. But even then, I can't help but imagine what would have happened if they met you instead. Who would they have been? Where would they be now? And I'm not saying that we have to. I'm not telling anybody we have to do anything. I'm just.
Are you making a reference to something, Finley? Says Fiora. And she gives you like a knowing look.
If there's nothing else to do with it, if there's nothing else anybody has in the grand scheme of what to do in the end, a diamond is a diamond.
I think all three of them just kind of like, they all look kind of different from, I mean, obviously, but like they all look like they all have different reactions, like different emotional. But they have very emotional, different feelings towards what you're saying. Balthazar looks the most against. I think Fiora just looks really sad, and she's like unsure and probably confused. And Casimir just looks like he's like, it's almost like the words, the text on the screen is coming across my face as he's just kind of like thinking and like looking around and like putting pieces together. And why use the diamond to help them? Says Balthazar. Why not? Shay's lost people, Wash has just lost people, others, people I've killed, people Orathia's killed.
I won't make wishes for other people's sakes.
Okay, fine. What about our parents? Balthazar like looks at Casimir and Fiora, and Casimir kind of just does that like look, like that. Like he doesn't move his face; it's just like the eyes go to the right to look at Balthazar. And Fiora, like she looks like she's like kind of on the verge of tears, and she's like, "But why would we bring them back? For what reason?" And Balthazar's like, "What? Why would we bring them back? What would that do? What the fuck do you mean? Are you planning on living out the rest of your life until they die?" And Balthazar kind of like, it's like that, like kind of catches him off guard as if he was about to say something, kind of like get punched in the gut. And Casimir just kind of looking back and forth at the two of them. I mean, honestly, I thought that's what I wanted as well, but what's our goal here? Is our goal here just to bring back our parents in Ponte? I think it's grown to something much bigger than that. Has it not? Casimir kind of like nods and says, yes. My goal isn't to see it to the end and then die for it. And what I mean by that is, if we bring back our parents, if we bring back the Ponte we knew through a wish, how long until something happens? I'm not living. None of us should be living for them. And she, Bowser's about to say something. She kind of like furrows her brow that came out the wrong way. And Casimir just kind of before they say anything, you watch as Casimir cast silence on both of them. As they both they're both about to say something, looks like Fiara's about to apologize and Bowser's about to scream. And Casimir just, as blue comes out of his fingertips and just hits their mouths. No one's saying we don't want our parents back. She's not saying that. I'm assuming, then looks over to Fiora, I'm assuming you're meaning they are human when they come back. Unless you want to change them into vampires, brother. And you watch as Balthazar kind of breathes and then shakes his head no. Back to Fiora. I'm assuming you're saying it'd be selfish to bring them back because they just die again and it seems like it's more for us than for them. And Fiora, a tear kind of falls from Fiora's eye and she nods. And then you watch it kind of go, and it unzips from their mouth and he kind of sits back and crosses his arms.
Listen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause anything. I was just... Everyone's going to have a lot for the diamond. Everybody's going to have a thing that they want to wish for, that they want to accomplish with it. This is just the thing that my silly heart is led to. I could wish for anything, to change anything, to do anything.
You watch as Balthazar he raises a hand and he kind of gestures it to you, Finley, and he says that he looks at you, he gives you this look of I'm gonna say something. This is directed not necessarily towards you. But why the fuck do you think you're gonna get that diamond?
I don't.
And then he looks over to Fiora, and Fiora looks like she's in fucking turmoil hell. She's she's the morality of it all.
Only sister kind of vibe.
Yeah. And then he kind of just goes, under his breath, sorry. And then he puts down his hand, and he looks away from you he can't look at you in the eyes anymore. One diamond has to be used to wish away the fair father. I don't know what to do with the last one, and I'm sorry. And she looks at Balthazar, she looks at Casimir just kind of I have no qualms. And then over to Finley. I will decide what happens with that diamond at the end.
Finley kind of gives a shrug, and it's just a nod, and he's it's all yours.
I don't have a wish. I don't think we should be fucking with wishes anymore, to be honest. But let's say that the final diamond is also the final Dawnwood diamond in existence. I don't think anybody should have that. But it's not something we can destroy, so maybe, I don't know. She lifts up her hand, she breathes in, and then she sighs, lets her hand go. I understand what you're saying. I do. Despite the anger we all have, is our common enemy still not the same? Balthazar kind of and that would be... Well, it sounds like it's still the fucking Berg. If they would or would not have these celestial, demon, ancient, whatever the fucks ended up on this path, if they would or would not have, how they have in this timeline is because of Berengar fucking Bart. It was his idea in the first place to run down our city. Yes? And Casimir nods. Balthazar looks kind of does that look up, sighs and nods. They didn't kill Livette. They didn't kill our parents. She her head cocks to the side. They did, but from instruction of bad fucking people. And it sounds like we are all thinking it's fucking Orathia Birk right now who's in charge of them. Yes?
Right.
The diamond is so unnecessarily a thought right now. It doesn't need to be a thought. What will happen with that fucking diamond, I will choose at the end, and that is where I'll stand. And if anybody wants to fight me for it, you can fight it over my fucking dead body and good fucking luck. She kind of pulls her hair back, and she looks hot, love.
She always looks hot.
What is our goal after we stop the fucking sisters, we stop Salmax, and we stop Orathia? To dismantle the Berg. To put in something better. which we already have done. And I say we, and I mean we. I don't mean us three, us four, the people in this fucking place. I mean the martyrs. I mean those the fated fates have helped. We have already started to do. Yes? And like she'll like wait and like you see like a, and I don't know if Finley will do the same, but if I can take liberties, I think it'd be like you all just kind of dejectedly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's just another fucking obstacle. There is no one deserves a diamond. No one gets a diamond. Even them. As unfortunate as it may be, but from what it sounds like, they're lost and gone, and I mourn for them too as I mourn for anybody else. I'm not going to think about what could have been when there's a problem in hand. I understand what you're saying, Finley. Thank you for telling me. This is not pointing towards you. We have the steps to make a difference. So there will be a Ponte. So there will be a Berg. There will be the Grove. And there will be a full Zabroria who doesn't suffer the way we've suffered. The suffering doesn't come specifically from them three, as you know. Not even they killed Levette. Balthazar kind of like, no, they didn't. The Berg has always had ship people who do ship things to put people in their place so that they never can be safe. If anything, it shows how much of a weapon the Berg can be used as when there's something that can see it. That's all they're doing. They're taking something that was already shit and making it worse. Or using it to their advantage. They're symbiotic bottom feeders who are taking an already shit situation and using it to their advantage. It'd still be happening if they weren't here. Yes or no? And again, probably like that. Yes. She probably leans back and just, she'll like lay back, put her head back, as Casimir will like put a hand on her. And then probably like shoot daggers at Balthazar, who will then like a dog with his tail between his legs kind of like walk up to her and also put a hand on her as like we're here for you. Yeah, probably with that, like, Fiara's gonna be like, I need to like scream to the ether. Like get up and walk away. Casimir's kind of like, okay, a lot to digest, but okay. And then walks out, and Balthazar will be like, I'm sorry for yelling at you.
Sorry for making you upset.
Also, I'm probably your best bet for the divine thing.
Or how do you imagine?
Finley, I know I haven't told you much about my life, but Levette, this character that keeps being brought up whenever we're speaking, she was my wife. She died many years ago. She is King Gil's aunt, or was. So, I have the power of one of the Bart's paladin blood inside of me. So, when it comes to divinity, I'm your best bet. Let me know if you need the help. I would like to help you.
Now wait. Hold on. I'm more confused now than I was to begin with. I appreciate the gesture. Truly, I do. And I will think about it, consider it. You're pretty much my best bet right now. Also, you, how, Bart power? You part Bart power. How did you, sorry for your loss. How do you have the power of a Bart paladin?
Kind of like, as he was, I imagine when he was saying that, he was ready to like walk out the door, and then he like stop and come back in and like kind of close the door a bit behind him. I now have Levette Bart's powers. She was a paladin of the Fair Father, Zaharis.
But how did you get that?
Well, let's just say she didn't die very nicely. She left too soon. And let's just say that was the resurgence of my bitterness towards the Berg that led me on the path that the fated fates eventually met me by.
Well, I apologize for digging a little bit deeper, but I can assume that the Berg had something to do with her, you know?
He kind of takes in a deep breath and then sighs, and then is like, yes, she was an outspoken person. She actually was supposed to be queen before King Gil's father did, being the eldest. But I guess the powers that be in the 7 Grand Septum guilds and the rest of the politicians of the Berg did not like her ideas for change to better Zabroria and its sectors as a whole. So she was assassinated.
Sounds about right. Pretty on theme, I guess.
Yes.
That doesn't really explain how you ended up with her powers?
Well, let's just say, when Livette and I were together, we tried to change things her way, and less aggressively so. And then I lost Livette. And so, I had some hatred fueling me wanting to change the Berg my way. And as I'm sure you know, I found out much about blood magic and the wishes that can be dealt with, I guess, by this demon child Salmix, through Lady Orathia Birk of the Onyx Obscurity. She basically all but warranted to me that there was a way I could use a wish to bring Livette back. And I guess in a way it worked, but not the way I was hoping. I didn't physically have her there, but I have... And you kind of watch, he lifts out his hands as you watch what looks like paladin, light cleric, light paladin magic come out of his hands for a second from someone who's a worshipper of the Fair Father. Glow around his hands before he kind of closes them in a quick grasp and puffs away in smoke. Blood magic's tricky. Doesn't always. I guess Salmix doesn't deem every wish the way you intend it when you wish it. Though, to be fair, probably should have known that, considering that's what Fiora did when we were children. And to be fair, after, even my wish to blot out the sun didn't work really in the favor I wanted to, but if they are feeding off Sobrarians and they're feeding off those who follow the Fair Father in his light, I guess it makes sense that it would be interpreted in such a way that they can still benefit. I'm guessing if she was wished back now, as her full, returned self, more than likely the government of the Berg would have fell apart, and then this family of blood would not be reaping as they wished. So, in the end, the wishes are all just a game for them.
I know it might seem hypocritical for me to ask of help to do something that isn't so dissimilar, but... And he kind of holds his hands out in the same way that Balthazar made the light come out, and he holds out the tablet, the Ignis Cal druidic text, and he looks at Balthazar. I feel like, as much as we both wished the person who originated this was here with it instead to be with us, we're both just stumbling to figure out how to use it. But I think, and he reaches forward with the text and puts his hands around one of Balthazar's hands. I feel like both of our lights are leading us to a place of cooperation. So I appreciate the offer, but I think if you want to fill that same position, you're going to have to get to know me a little bit better and like me a whole lot more.
I don't dislike you, Mr. Galilei. I hate to be the one to say it, and not that I don't appreciate you trying to relate, but I think the difference between... You watch as he puts his hand up and you see the little flicks of divine magic of the sun, and he holds, unfurls your hand to show the tablet. I think in mine is a residual, where yours is a failsafe. I think your mother put in something, hoping one day you'd figure out how to bring them back. Unfortunately, I think, not that it's not loss, but in a positive light, I think yours was always intended to be rectified, which is a good thing. And if I can help someone rectify something, then it wasn't all for naught. But with that too, from our conversation over the last year, I do want to thank you for helping me realize I do have more than just my siblings and the sad events that happened to us. So thank you for showing me that the martyrs can be more than just pawns in a game of revenge. And then he'll walk out.
As he's walking up, he's going to go, honestly, anytime, you're always welcome. But with the divinity thing, it is a two-way street of closeness, so you're going to have to get real comfortable with me. To like me a little bit more than just as an acquaintance, maybe even a friend or a close one. You don't have to kiss me or nothing, but I have to get a lot closer.
He just stares and blinks for a second. I'm going away. And then he turns around and walks away.
The second he leaves, Finley's going to head to toe become the brightest shade of red and go, that sounded really bad. Oh.
All right. A week passed by as Wash recovered from all that happened in the doghouse. During this time, the Fated Fates and their allies began preparing for an infiltration into the Onyx Obscurity to take down Orathia Birk once and for all. Codex and Balthazar worked on Seraphima's Blood Gauntlet to see what powers they could ascertain from it and use against Orathia. Issa contacted her parents, Salvador and Elena, and begged them to contact Pontifem Nestri to see if they could seek an audience with her to discuss Orathia, as well as the sisters and Salmix, who was still under the guise as Dark Fury, who was the bull of the Vol Multitude. During this time, too, Salvador even spoke with Fiara, not fully sure of her hatred toward the Tide Thor's religion. Fiara showed a vision of the damage Berengar Bart, progenitor of the current religion of Zabraria, had done to not only Ponte, but all she had witnessed across Zabraria. This hit Salvador deeply, even shaking his faith, enough so to return the tome of Berengar back to her. But after that, the Fated Fates and their allies were ready to discuss their plan of action.
So what's the plan?
Okay, so we've had all of our rundowns. We know what the fuck is going on with whatever the fuck she might be planning for us in there with these people. Namely, my sister, the leader of the Needles, Terrence's father, two people that were with Maud when Maud went in. I'm going to be accompanying you to the Onyx Obscurity, because I need my fucking sister back and I want revenge. The DeMartas are going to stay back here. Ezra is going to stay back here. Maud will also be joining us. And you watch as Maud kind of like nods, because she's been in there before. It changes. It's crazy. That's the best we got. And this is where I could have turned the conversation to what's the plan when it comes to Seraphima's Claw and the blood we have already. Balthazar probably looks at Codex. It's like we have to present now.
Did you plan a PowerPoint? Because I didn't.
I explained to Codex that that blood in that little container that will be in Shay's bag of holding, and the blood currently that we have in... I'm just saying you've tested again, probably on Finley again.
Honestly, she probably tested it herself.
That will not yet be enough to untether her from Kesek, in our theory. So, you'll need to acquire more in the Onyx Obscurity. Or, then toss it to Codex.
I mean, I guess what we could do is just all the people that whoever we come across in there, we could just put it in the bag. We could also, I have... And she looks at her, or I have 3 charges here. I could probably put those in the bag, and we could just pull from you guys.
That container can also carry more. Says Balthazar.
Yeah, I was talking about putting it in the container instead of in here because I think this destroys it.
I have a quick question. Says Maud. I can attune to it, and I could use it. The reason why I say this, Orathia already is gunning for you, Codex.
Yeah, but so is everybody else, you know what I mean?
But if someone hangs back and uses it instead of one of the,
What I'm saying is, not immediately, but I think when we get into the fight, she will least expect me. I think I could be the one that delivers that final blow. And why I say that is because I have some ways of understanding how to mitigate.
What?
I can mitigate some of her power.
Do you want to share with the class?
She looks over at the DeMartas, and then at Sean, and then back to you guys. We think it's best if I don't share that information this time.
I'm sorry, are we
in case
or not?
We are. In case Orathia nabs any of us. Because she will. When we go into the Onyx Obscurity, we cannot guarantee we will be together the entire time.
She doesn't get our memories, you know?
Yes, she does.
But we're banking on the fact that she doesn't nab you?
We're banking on something I can't tell you in case we get nabbed. She's already tried to break my mind once, she won't be able to do it again. Codex, I just need you to trust me. It's not going to be immediately, but I think by the end, when you start doing your fight against her...
Codex looks at all of the other Fated Fates with this it's this very unsure look on her face where she's just
Terrence kind of shrugs and is I've
never steered you wrong before.
Yeah.
That is not my issue with this right now.
No, but if she's the only one that we can say is even the one that is the least likely to be possessed or whatever, I don't necessarily see that's a bad thing. Because if she happens to get control of someone who has that gauntlet, then we're fucked.
She kind of Maud puts her hand on yours.
She pulls her hands away.
Okay,
it's kind of insane that we're going to go into the Onyx Obscurity of all places with people that have already been possessed, no offense, and also people who are trust me, I am the only chance you have at stopping this. Also, we can't tell you why.
And all 3 of you know this special thing?
Yes.
And if by chance Maud gets taken, you have a way to pull her back immediately?
No. But they're going to take us to a place. The center of the Onyx Obscurity is basically a fucking fighting ring. Mm-hmm. It's kind of how I remember it when Connie, Kuzon, Tarin, Bex, and I were in there. That's most likely, yet again, the heart we're going to. When we're there, that's when I would need it. It's not going to be a fucking walk in the park going through, and I don't think any of you think that. But I think... This is Fiara. I think something just... Orathia knows most of you very well. She does not know Maud very well.
She's been with Maud for the last 3 years.
I'm not that stupid. I've never talked to Shum in a way that made him understand anything about me that wasn't already known. And if he didn't know it, he didn't know it. You can smile like that, like you don't trust me.
Maud, I do trust you. I've known you for a long time.
Okay, well then a little bit of believing in my abilities would be nice.
It's not that I don't believe in you. It's I also believe in Codex.
Why was this suddenly turned about a me versus Codex thing? This has never been a me versus Codex. This is me saying at the very end when we get to the fight, giving me the claw. Why is this suddenly a pitting against anybody? Are we allies or not?
It's...
Because I can go alone.
Maud has never given... you've always been there for us, and have never... Like you said, you've all... There's no reason for us not to trust you, and you've been there before, so if she thinks, that she's the best chance, then I think that we should just trust her.
And this entire time I've known the fated fates. Orathia's never once put her eyes back on me, but she's put them on all of you.
How can you be so
Is
sure?
That wrong? Codex.
What?
There are things at work that I can't say, because if she knows, then it's done. There's a way I can mitigate it.
I'm not going to pretend I understand it. I'm just here to swing a sword.
Right, so the plan is we get there, we get to the center, which is a fighting pit, and then you get the claw and something. And do we have more?
Well, Balzar Johnson, you'll need to get more blood.
And that's on the way to the center pit, right? I'm assuming it's not going to be just like us trying to make our way through a maze with no different...
Correct.
There will definitely be people to fight.
Just remember, too, as our chimes in, it's going to shift and change the entire time.
Yeah. Great.
The plan... How are we planning on just... Are we just walking in? What's the...
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, great.
Other questions, qualms, queries, wonders, hopes, wishes, says Fiara.
Where we go?
Today.
Great.
Today?
Fiara, Casimir, and Balthazar will probably stand up and be like... Fiara will just kind of say, okay, well, best to leave now, I think. Casimir and Balthazar are going to be joining you a part of the way, because they need to go to the 12th to meet up with Dogma, Yelena, Hal, Pascal, Opal, Heloana, and Philomena. So, it's a whole thing. But they will be joining you on your adventure. So, V2 is with you, and V2 does have a sending stone in it, and Ezra's noted what you told him before, Terrence, so he's going to be very, conscientious of how that can be used.
The whole journey will take about a week and a half to get to the 11th precinct, and crossing through the 12th is where Casimir and Balthazar will drop off of the group, as it is just the 6 of you, Shaman Mod, getting into the 11th precinct.
There are guards out there who kind of let you guys through. They're like, oh, they'll let you through. Not that they're it's blocked, but there's always, like I described way back, the walls are huge arches that have gates that could technically barrier down, but they just have guards posted. Which is kind of as you walk by. But the moment you get into the 11th district, the 11th precinct, the air seems to sour. When you guys walk through here, probably 30, 40 minutes of just silent walking, it's just regular people, whatever. But there gets to a point where you do see off in the distance this large, it looks like it's a large black mansion. But imagine a regular mansion and then times it by 20 on the outside. And it looks like it's made of obsidian and onyx, stone on the outside, stone and glass. It has this kind of green flare to it on the outside, as well as these lights that kind of look like almost like floodlights out of it, that look like green floodlights that come from these arcane gems. After walking for about 30-40 minutes, there gets to be a point where just the regular rabble around is just doing whatever regular Bergians do. It seems like every time you pass groups of people, they all stare at you. They'll be talking, they'll be selling apples, and the moment you guys walk past their stuff, they'll all have stop and look. And then the moment you're far enough away, they're like, yeah, 10 gold for that. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, can I also have and they'll continue, but it's the moment you're passing their threshold, it's they stop. Yeah, there's 6 of you, a dog, a duck, Maud, and Sham, so in total 10. Eventually you guys will get to the Onyx Obscurity gates, which are these large black iron gates.
that there are guards outside. She has her own type of guard as well. That will, like, they have like these visor helmets that like only go to here so you can see the bottoms of their mouths. No movement of the mouth, but they'll just kind of like walk forward and you see glints of green underneath the glass obsidian like visor of this helmet as they will then push the doors or the gates open as you guys will walk up. It like looks empty. There's no one in this courtyard. There's like dead trees in the courtyard. It's all dead. It doesn't look right. It's very creepy, very ominous. And the rest of the 11th, before getting to the Onyx Obscurity, it looks fine, but there is that, it's like, it looks like a regular, like the regular Birk, but there's that looming presence in the background. It's like, welcome to our regular town. There's the scary castle over there. This is our regular town. You know, like, that's what it, like, so it all looked regular. It was just when you guys got closer at a point, there'd be people like, yeah, I'm gonna buy some cabbages. Anyway, so 4, 5, 6, like, you know, like, and that was just like, ugh. But it looks like a regular, it's not like people are like, this is the dead precinct and no one lives here. Like, it's like, it's pretty normal, other than what you experience. But when you walk into the courtyard of the Onyx Obscurity before getting up to this giant impossible building, it's like dead trees, dead shrubs, nobody's outside, there's no gardeners. Like, there's gardeners outside the Naramon Society, there's people who tend to all the different septum guild houses, or guild halls, but not this one. And there are no guards in front of the actual double doors of this building, but you guys will get up to it, and it is almost like semi-transparent. Like, if you look through, you can see like very, very blurred versions of things.
Yeah, I'll open the door.
Alright, Wash will push as they kind of like open, and as you walk into it, it's like this very fancy, lavish, dark hall that is like full of like green and purple rugs, like dark velvet. And at the top of this staircase in this entrance hall, you do see Orathia standing next to full Kessak. So you see this god in front of you, and this god looks like this lavender-skinned being with kind of like elven ears, silver hair and a bob. But silver hair that's down that has this almost halo above his head that have spikes on it. It's not like a halo of thorns, it's like spikes. And it's that same dark red that you've seen as the horns for the scarred warlord Othamir, as the sewn-in dress to her skin for Visara, the Lady of Want, the gloves on the Boltmaster, the shadow of the 4 variant. But as you've seen the same like red that you've seen on all the Trespasser gods thus far. And standing in front of Orathia is Salmex, Hela, Gazania, and Aster. And she goes, oh, well, they're here, says Orathia. Well, kiddies, why don't you all go do your thing, and I'll handle this. And you kind of watch as the 4 of them kind of like begrudgingly look at you all as they turn, and then they will walk out past you. And they will not even look at you as they're walking up. Like, they'll look at you, walk past you, not giving you a second glance as they walk out, and Orathia says, welcome to the Onyx Obscurity. She is going to kind of look at all of you. And she's gonna kind of sigh and kind of just give this really soft smile, and she just slowly descends from the like large staircase at the other side of this entrance, with probably Kessak just standing or like floating a little bit above on the stairs. But she's gonna walk down, and she's gonna walk to the center of this room. You guys are still at the entrance, but she's closer to you guys now, and she just will again. I'll say welcome. So you're here to enact your plan or whatever. You're trying to untether me from Kessak, get the diamond, right?
No. Different plan entirely.
Oh, okay.
We were just here for a tour.
Okay, well, she kind of looks back to Kessak and looks at you guys. Should I just take over you all now, or what would be best for you?
I'm pretty busy right now. Could you, pencil me in next month?
Could you call me later? Here's the thing I really do like about all of you. You are so extraordinary. And what I mean by that is, I assume you know, or at least assume enough about me that you can understand that I have my hand in many pies of Zabraria.
That could get messy.
They all know about each other?
2 servants walk away, she's like, thank you. No. But I obviously have my hands across Zabraria. And you all, the Fated Fates, Sean, Maud, I'll get to you in a second. You're just, and she's doing this thing where she's grabbing her chin. She's like, there's just something like a spark there with you all. And it's just so fascinating. But you all have let's just say, severed some of the hands I have across, which most people would probably be she like bites her lip, upset by that. Maybe they'd want, and she's probably by this point probably like pacing and like just like back and forth and looking at you all, want revenge or want to kill you, want to destroy your lives, but that just doesn't interest me. In fact, I find it more interesting that when you stop Balthazar from doing the things I had him do, and when you stop Seraphima from doing what she was doing, of which I was connected through Miss Alona, I just was more fascinated with you. So, she'll like clap a little. Bravo for that. You're all... How do I explain this? You're all pieces on a board game, really. That's all you ever are. That's all he is. That's all you are. That's all the kiddos are.
She knows we're playing D&D.
And you are powerful pieces. Okay? I am not like any of you. I'm above the game. You're in it.
So you're still playing, right?
Oh, sure.
Who are you playing against?
It's like solitaire. So, my goal here, raising some people that have been dead from your past, others that I've just taken control of, having the diamond here, not touching it. I don't think it's any surprise that I've lured you here because I would like to have you all under my control.
Well, if we've already done something for you in your game, why do you need to control us?
To move on to the next board. Zabrari is just one, you know? And I think pretty soon I'll get to that point where I've seen it all. And I'm not necessarily a person... I've made the one wish, and she referenced to Kessak. I never made a blood wish, but I knew about blood wishes well before Kessak was ever a thing. I knew blood wishes by the time that I met you, Codex. I never used a blood wish. I don't really care to cheat, necessarily. Depends on your definition of cheating, I guess. But I like to think of myself as an observer, as a game master and an observer. And you are all, let's say, strong cards in the deck. But, you being the names you are, I obviously have a wish myself to... Benefactor's not the right word, patron's not the right word. Puppet you all. And I can either just do that now, or if you know, I think chance and fairness is always up on the table, so if you'd like to try to explore and get your little mission done before I snatch you up, you can do that too.
What's the fun in not letting us try?
Gives it more of a chase, no?
You love a gamble, don't you?
What is the big plan after? Let's not... Well, let's wait our way in a little bit before we start. It's always fun.
We're not really planners, so...
Yeah, we're kind of
Who
free
knows?
on this one.
That's funny, because if I could recall, and you watch she lifts her hand up, and you see all of these small stones just start to fly around, like a vortex around all of you, and you just hear a cacophony of your own voices talking over the sending stones over the years, overlapping planning and ideas and all these different things, and it'll kind of just get really loud, and you probably all have to kind of cover your ears for a second before it just it just as all the stones just litter on the floor. I'd say you're planners. No foreplay beforehand? You're not going to tell me? I mean, I could just end it now, and you watch as she snaps her hand, and Kessak will kind of, and then look over at all of you, and you'll see as out of his hand pours smoke, and it will attach to each of your, throats. It'll probably go into your mouth, and you just all feel as you look over at each other, it's like you're being siphoned fully. Roll a Constitution save, everybody.
Oh no!
Terrence first.
I got a 21.
Okay. Wash.
11.
Shay.
17.
Codex.
I rolled a 1, but it's an 8.
Okay. Issa.
18.
Finley.
Natural 20.
I got a natural 20 and Sean got a natural 19, so 25.
Hell yeah.
Or not 25, so whoa, 22. Sorry.
V2 got a natural 15.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Okay. 15 necrotic damage, and you will take it full even if you have. It will negate any resistances. It's 15 is the total, so it'll be halved if you saved. So 7 if you saved, if not 15.
Can I grasp and be like, no, wait. What? Oh, you're a gambling woman. Why would you just kill us? That's too easy for you.
Stop. And Kesek will put his hand down, and you just see the smoke just.
I mean, you're a gambling woman. In this scenario, some would even call you House. And, even though House always wins, the fun of the game, the thrill of the prize, you just take it for yourself. That's not fun for you. What if we up the ante?
How so?
We go through your game, we go through your maze, whatever horrors await us, whatever trials, tribulations, suffering, as he looks to Kessak, we make it to the end. Granted, all of us make it to the end. And instead of some grandiose fight where multiple or all of us or some of you or none of you die, he's kind of collecting himself. We make it to the end, and it's you alone, no Kessak, against one of us of your choosing.
You want me to go one-on-one with one of you, Orathia, and you see her smile and turn back to Kessak and just give this knowing nod. So you want me to go one-on-one against one of you? Why not just do that now? You're not giving me a reason to not kill you right now, or take possession, I'm sorry. You're not giving me a reason to not just take hold of you now.
It's so much of a game if you just do it now.
What's the ante? I don't think one-on-one is this. Do I look like a person who just enjoys to fight?
What if I throw myself in the pot? A guaranteed me.
What? Or any of us.
I'm an Ignis Cal Druid and the last of my kind, the only one with the knowledge that I possess of ancient secrets. And he holds the slab, he apparates the slab of all of the texts from the Ignis Cal Druids. What if I give you this? As he smiles.
What if I just take possession of you now and do it myself?
Would that really be a gamble?
No, but it's a win.
So, sure, it's a win. You love a gamble. It's attached to my soul. Can you, possessing me, access that?
She'll turn to Kessak, and Kessak will be a guess not.
So there you go.
One ante is tempting. You know what? I didn't think this was going to be on the agenda today. You know what? I do like this idea of what if I lose here. What's everyone else's ante?
Well, we already all know what you want. You want to possess us in some way, so...
Yeah, but what about the things I can't get from possessing you? What are those? I don't necessarily get all your memories, so, Terrence, I'd love that formula.
And I guess that's my ante. Although I do have I don't quite know how to make the perfected version yet, but I'm working on figuring that out, so maybe I can throw that in the pot.
Let's eeny, meeny, miny, mo this. Codex, what do I know about you? Something about a Hexley connected to you, right? Something that Dark Fury, Salmex, sorry, himself knows, and Aster, Gazania, and Gila all know about?
Mm-hmm.
You think you could convince your brother if I was possessing you?
No. Not at all. You know what? Lately, I don't know.
Can you dissect it out of her? She looks to Kessak. I guess I could. Not really sure. Here's what I'll throw in my antes. You already know I have the diamond, and you see the diamond kind of appear before it disappears again. And how about this? I won't possess any of you. I'll just kill you. Or let you live to see the suffering. For him. And Kessak just goes, just smiles. I feel indifferent about most of this, but I do love suffering. You already knew this.
Can't get enough of that. You say.
Can't get enough of that, sorry. I am a slave to that.
Well, it doesn't seem like we have much choice, so fine, sure.
But what's your ante?
What do you want?
What do you have? You'll have Revenant.
Yes.
I could dissect that as well.
What about what it's connected to?
What is it connected to?
Oh, you should know that.
I don't. Surprise.
Maybe you can find out. That can be my ante.
Find out and get it, sure. Kessak looks at you and kind of cocks his head. What is that?
She just smiles.
It's connected to my boobies.
It's connected to my boobies. Wash, Issa, what's your ante? I don't really care too much about your celestial blood, and I could give a shit about your connection to the Oracle.
I'm pretty much just a normal guy apart from the celestial blood, so,
I'll take your memories.
Why would you want those?
Picture tells 1,000 words, Wash, and I'm sure you've seen many a picture with those eyes. Issa?
What do you want?
What do you have? It's your auntie.
I don't know. I'm not much besides Oracle blood.
Okay, well then, your memories too. Great. Perfect. So, and you watch as she snaps her fingers and up, like, basically is this, like, roulette table. Sham, Maud, I already know what I have of yours, pointing at Sham. To me, you'll give me full servitude. Maud, I'll finally get to look in your head. And both kind of just, like, look at each other and nod. We'll gather round. And she, like, there's this huge, like, roulette table. Just say your auntie and roll it in. So you'll see her pick up a marble. She'll like, I'll go first. She picks up a marble and she says, the diamond. And you'll see, like, it just kind of, like, arcanically, like, sigils run around it, and she'll roll it across the track as it lands into one of the slots, and she will just step away from the roulette table.
I'm just gonna, like, hold up the Secrets of the Ignis Cal Druid tied to my soul. He's gonna throw the marble in.
All right, you throw the marble in, and are you bidding on red or black? No, you throw the marble in. There is no red or black. It's just like it's just a roulette table without like the color blockings. And as it'll get into one of the slots, you'll watch as Finley, like the tiles beneath him, go, and he'll fall through. First one in the maze. All right, who's next?
She'll pick it up and just say a fragment of the hex leap and throw it into the.
All right, it'll land in one of the slots. Same thing as Codex falls through.
So much for the buddy system. This formula to my serum. And he throws the...
Same thing. Terrence is gone.
Shay grabs one too. All the unbridled information about my revenant heritage. And she throws hers in.
Sham will go first probably and go, my unrelented servitude. And roll it across as he will fall. Maud will walk up and you'll finally get a chance to see into my head, I guess. She's gone.
I guess we're giving up memories. Cool.
All right, yeah, same thing. And Wash is gone.
Yeah, I'll grab, Issa will, like, mutter memories and throw her dice in.
Good luck. As you fall. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
The Table is Yours releases episodes in video and podcast format every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. You can follow The Table is Yours everywhere by the handle @TTIYDND. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the table next time.